Today we're going to be showing you how to change the oil on a 2020 Highlander 3.5 liter V6. This is not the hybrid model. I'll be working on this with my son, who will be managing the camera and helping out with this project. We're going to show you the various tools and supplies you will need to change the oil in your Highlander. So you'll need oil, of course. You will need the oil filter. Shown here is the original factory Toyota oil filter, an oil drain washer. You'll need a 14mm socket, wrench or wrench to loosen the drain plug. It's always helpful to have a flashlight, the funnels to insert new oil, and a funnel to drain the old oil out of the pan. You'll need the drain pan, which is where you'll collect the used motor oil when you're draining it. Some shop towels are handy for keeping things clean, and always wear gloves when you're changing your oil. There's no point in getting those chemicals or greasiness on your fingers, and highly recommend using gloves to keep your hands clean. So we'll go into these in a little more detail. So we're going to be using Kirkland full synthetic motor oil. This is a relatively new product that is sold at Costco. Online it's been given good reviews. It's a high quality synthetic oil which meets DEXO standards, perfectly safe to use in your Highlander. It's a 0W20 oil because we have a 3.5 liter gas engine, not the hybrid model. Double check the oil filler cap, which we'll show you later. Only always put in the oil that your vehicle requires and nothing else. We're not going to get into the religious debates about which oil is best. If you're more comfortable with Mobil 1, Pennzoil, or other brands, feel free to use those brands. But we're going to go ahead and use this Costco oil, which is actually for a box of 2 jugs on sale for $21. So a pretty good deal in our opinion. Here's the oil filter. Get this from your dealer. This is the part number. Recommend sticking with original Toyota parts. Inside this filter box we'll have a couple different things. You'll have some new gaskets, which will show you how to install, a special drain plug to get old oil out of the old filter, and of course the filter element. So then we highly recommend changing the washer while you're there. I don't think this is an original Toyota washer, but you can get those at your dealer as well. You'll also need an oil filter wrench. This is a special wrench fitted out for the Toyota oil filters, and you'll see later how this is important to remove the housing. You can get this from your dealer, or you can find them on eBay. Just make sure you get the right one. Always make sure to support and chock the wheels, the rear wheels. Okay, here's the inside of the engine bay. Just by the way, here's your battery in case you need to jump your batteries. This is the positive terminal, that's the negative terminal. This is the engine oil dipstick. This is where you will be checking how much oil is currently in the engine and to know if it's full when we start filling in. And this is the oil filler cap. This is what you'll be opening, like I'm doing now. And this is where we'll pour new engine oil in. There'll be 2 10mm bolts you'll have to remove. This one here. And there's one more behind here, so you might have to use an extension to get to it. So this is the drain plug we'll be removing, and over here is going to be that's the filter, and we have a special tool that we'll be using for that. We'll be using our 14mm socket, and we'll be loosening the plug. The oil will be dripping out, so make sure you have your pan ready and some cardboard or newspapers underneath. So I'm going to loosen it now. It wasn't tight. And now, as you can see, it's loose. So I'll begin to use my hand to loosen the rest of it and let the oil come out. It's still dripping. I recommend you just go take a break, have some coffee, let this thing keep dripping until it's almost nothing but a few drops coming out. Make sure that you clean off the drain plug of all the old oil using a rag, and you can see this is pretty clean. And we'll be putting a new washer on. So now we're going to take a 3/8 inch ratchet to loosen this part of the oil filter. You can see it gets a little loose there. And you can loosen this by hand. Take out this. Some oil will be coming out. Don't lose this piece and don't let it fall in. This piece needs to be saved. Now, in the oil filter kit, you'll notice there's a piece of plastic that came in. This is what you're going to do, is you're going to insert it in here, and you're going to get some oil that's going to come out. Once you attach it, the rest of the oil will be drained out for you. Okay, now that it's finished dripping, we're going to remove, almost done dripping, we're going to remove this. You will have noticed that there's a small O-ring. We'll be replacing that. And this is the old oil filter that's dirty. So we'll be removing the old oil filter and discarding that, and take a little bit of time to clean up the case a little bit. As well, you'll have an old O-ring here that you want to remove, and that's where we'll be installing the new one. Make sure to put it in the same groove where the old one was removed. As you can see, it's right there. And the new filter goes in right here. Doesn't matter which direction you put it in, just make sure it's ready to go. There you go. And we'll also be putting a new O-ring here, which is this one, when we install the bottom. We'll just prime the oil filter with a little bit of oil. Clean up this oil filter housing. Should be pretty much done dripping. Anything left over, just clean it out. And now we take the case that we previously installed the O-ring, screw in hand tight. No need to go beyond hand tight. And then we'll put a new O-ring right there. Hopefully you can see. So now we're going to tighten up this. So put in your 3/8 millimeter, 3/8 inch ratchet and turn it until the oil filter begins to turn. And then you're all done. Make sure you dispose of your motor oil properly. You can check with recycler or garbage disposal company to see if they take your motor oil. In your municipality, the may also be possible that AutoZone or Firestone takes used motor oil. Whatever you do, dispose of it properly. Keep our planet clean and safe for everyone. You can see here the sticker that indicates the oil type, 0W20. It used to be on the oil filter cap, but unfortunately they decided to change the location and they put it on the sticker instead. But either way, you know what it is. So here's where we're going to fill the oil. Put a funnel, and you can start to add the oil.
Alright guys, so this is almost done draining, as you can see, and we're going to see how much we've put in using the dipstick. And since we got two big ones of those of oil from Costco, we believe that it's gonna be the maximum you can put is 5.8 quarts. And as you can see on the side, we have all of the amount we have, and we're gonna put 0.8 quarts in the using this, and yeah, we'll be back when we do that. So right now we're using the dipstick. We're gonna clean it out, and then we're gonna put it back in to see if there's any resemblance of any oil. So we're pulling it back out, and seems to be not much oil in there.
Actually, it's about a little over half.
I don't see anything.
You can see it's clear. It's new oil, so you can see it gets up to about this point. This means it's empty. This is full, and that's about halfway. So we'll put a little more oil in and see if it can get up to the top.
All right. After you're done that, make sure to screw the cap back on, and just screw it as much as your hands can go. It doesn't have to be too much. Just do it so it's not too loose.
Once you've verified the level of oil, double check that there are no leaks, take the vehicle down safely, and you're all finished. Congratulations, the oil change is finished.